Have you ever found yourself in a place where you have to make a choice about something big, something that could be really life-changing, and you just find yourself resistant to actually making the choice, actually doing the thing, embodying it, even though you know it's the right thing? Well, today we're going to be talking about that on Boldly Driven Conversations with Bree. I really hope you'll join me. Okay, so we've talked about liminal transitions. We've talked about how oftentimes we are in these places that a lot of change has happened, and so we're trying to catch up to it, right? And oftentimes when we find ourselves in these liminal spaces, we end up getting comfortable in them, and then we're afraid to make the choice that is going to transition us into a new liminal space, because we're kind of always in liminal spaces, especially if you have like really big changes going on in your life. You're kind of going to go through all these like different liminal spaces, one right after another. And so oftentimes what happens is we become very resistant then to change again. We become very resistant in certain ways of making choices that are going to keep us moving forward and more forward progress, because we've been so uncomfortable being in a liminal transition that when we finally find a little bit of comfort, meaning we find some consistency, a little bit of safety and security, we just want to kind of stay there, and we don't want to continue moving forward to put ourselves in another liminal space. We're resistant to it. And so, if that is you, if that resonates with you, man, I am so with you in that. I have shared before that I have been going through quite a liminal space, a lot of transitions in the last year or so, really the last like 2 years, specifically the last like 9-10 months. I've been living in a really big liminal space with some really big changes to my life. And as I've been in this liminal space, I find myself, I'm getting comfortable. Like I'm getting comfortable with, specifically with like finances, because that has been a thing for me. I have some financial trauma, from my adult life, and I've been trying to work through that, heal through that, grow through that. And I find myself in this place where I have a choice to make. And I'm resistant to making the actual decision. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, what does that look like? Why do we do that? When we find ourselves in a place where, I don't want to say we're stagnant in growth, because definitely not stagnant in growth. It's just you get comfortable and you're like, I don't want to do the thing anymore. I just want some comfort and security and safety, and I just want to sit here. Like, I get it. And there is value to that. There is value to having comfort and peace and rest and a place of safety. We all need that. But when opportunities come to us, it's hard sometimes to actually do the thing that we know is right, that is aligned. When we're making a big decision, when a choice is presented to us, an opportunity is presented to us, oftentimes we have two major like feelings. The first one is like excitement. We get really excited about the thing. And we also have some fear. And when we have both of these, oftentimes this tells me that the thing I'm about to do, or the choice I want to make, the decision I'm going to make, is for me. That's one of the key indicators for me, is when they're very balanced. Like if I'm just super excited about something and I have no fears and it's like very life-changing, I start to question it, because I'm like, why am I just feeling so excited about this and like there's no fears whatsoever? There's always caveats to this, right? But when it's something that's really, really big that we're doing, and it specifically is going to be in the face of an area where we are trying to heal and grow, we should have a really good balance of both excitement and fear. That's the magic sauce. When we just have fear about a decision that we're going to make, yes, the alarms kind of go off for me on that, where I'm like, I don't feel excited about this. I am super fearful. Everything bad is going to happen. I do listen to that, but I also try to really dig into that. I try to really dig into that. Like, where is this fear coming from? What is the root of it? And if the root of the fear comes from something that I am actively trying to work on, actively heal, actively grow in myself. Something I've been very resistant to, maybe for a lot of my life. That is when I have to reframe that fear and understand that that fear is something that I'm resistant to that thing. Like there's a resistance there. And it's usually that very thing that I'm resistant to, that I'm afraid of, that I need to push through in order to heal and grow and move forward in whatever choice it is. And whatever it is I'm trying to do to get out of that liminal space that I'm in. When we live in our comfort zone, that is where there's some kind of quote where it talks about like, that's where opportunities die. And this is very true. Like when we just want to live in our comfort zone, that is where our dreams die. Oftentimes that's where opportunities go to waste, because we're so resistant to the thing, and we live in fear. So that magic sauce is excitement and fear. When you have both of those things, oftentimes for me specifically, and most people that I know in the coaching world, and when we're making big life transitions, this is something we see a lot. And that's the secret sauce to know you're making the right decision, right? So, oftentimes, I've said it before, oftentimes the thing that we are resistant to is the very thing we actually need to do, which is really scary sometimes. Specifically for me, I have mentioned I have that financial trauma, and I have a choice that I need to make. I have 72 hours to make the choice. I now have about 48 hours left to make my actual choice, to actually do the thing, to actually move forward with this opportunity that's been given to me. And it involves finances. And I'm so resistant to change in this area of my life. In the last 10 months, I have been reestablishing some financial autonomy, and I'm finally in a place where like, okay, I know where money's coming from. I know it goes out every month. I can do this. I'm proving to myself I can do this. But this opportunity that has come to me involves finances, and it involves me to risk. And I just have so much trauma around this area of my life. But I know that the very thing that I'm resistant to in this is the thing I need to heal, is the thing that is holding me back in my life. And so I know that the decision and the choice that I need to make, I know what the right thing to do is here. Absolutely. I know it is aligned. I should press go. I need to move forward. I need to do the thing up here, right? And even in my heart center, like the choice, the decision, the thing that I'm facing that I need to press go on, I feel aligned with it. It is exactly what I need to do. But I just haven't embodied it yet. It's lined here, it's aligned here, but there's still all this like fear here that is not allowing me to press go, to say yes, to commit, to do the actual thing. And I'm working through it. I know that I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to. I already know. I've already made that decision in my head and in my heart. I just haven't done it. And so it's exciting. I'm so excited about it, but I'm also terrified about making that choice, about pressing go. And so much of that fear is the fear of failure. I don't want to fail. I don't want to deal with the perceptions of my choice that people are going to have. I don't want to receive the disapproval that I may or may not receive. We talk a lot about people pleasing, and as a recovering people pleaser, these are things that I've really been dealing with a lot in the last year or so, and specifically the last like 9-10 months. And so, this is an area where I just keep moving forward and pushing forward and allowing myself to grow and change and meet that that wall, that resistance, and keep continuing to push through it. And there's so much satisfaction in it, but it's also exhausting because who wants to care what other people think all the time, right? And I'm learning to be okay with that. But it is a transition. It does take time. And I don't know that it's ever necessarily going to be completely gone. And so when we find ourselves in these liminal transitions, when we find ourselves up against that resistance and we just have to make the choice, we just have to do the thing, it's terrifying and exciting, and we just need to do the thing. So I challenge you today. If maybe you're in a similar place like I am, where you've been in the liminal transition, you're kind of getting comfortable in that liminal transition, but you're also coming up against a wall and you're like, I have to do something different. Like, I have to. I've been given this choice, this opportunity. And if you find yourself kind of resistant to that change, to making that choice, actually doing it, I challenge you today to do it, to do the thing. You know it's right up here. You know it's right here. Now it's time to embody it, to do the thing. So I challenge you today, if that's you. If you are someone who is in a liminal transition and you're just feeling fear, I challenge you today to talk through those fears, talk through vulnerably what it is you're actually afraid of. What is it you're actually afraid of? You know, are you afraid of the perceptions? Maybe. Are you afraid of the actual resistance, of the pain, of failure? Like, what is it you're actually afraid of? It's time to identify that thing, because it's time to identify what is not true about that fear, right? What's not actually true? What is the truth about that? And if you are someone who's in a liminal transition and you have something that you need to make a decision on and you just feel super excited about it and you're just like, I'm going to do the thing, right? But I'm going to caution you, make sure you pull back and talk to someone, talk it through. Even if you're like, this is exciting, I want to do the thing. So oftentimes when we're super excited about something, we might be ignoring the red flags or ignoring the thing that excuse me, sorry, I'm still a little sick. Sometimes we ignore like the red flag or the thing we don't want to see, just so that we can move through a liminal transition that is uncomfortable, that we don't like, and we just want to get to the next thing. So we push forward instead of excuse me, so sorry. Instead of we just push forward instead of allowing wise mind to come in there, because we just want to get out of whatever it is we're doing. So I challenge you then to kind of talk to someone first before you actually make the decision. So, all right. Well, resistance, it's there for all of us. It can be a good thing. It can be something that we are just going to meet and push through and move on. Resistance, it's a thing. We all feel it. Welcome to the human experience. Okay, have a great day.